Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. It's so good to see you. How are you? And welcome back. Today I'm going to be making a 4-ingredient recipe for cookie dough bread. Cookie dough bread. It looks absolutely lovely. Bethany Ugart shared this originally on her Instagram, and it took over during the peak of quarantine. And it looks delicious. It looks like a loaf of chocolate chip cookie dough bread. But will it taste like cookie dough is the question at hand. Will these 4 ingredients combined together with some heat create something that tastes like chocolate chip cookie dough? It seems like a bit of a stretch, but I won't know till I make this, right? Another very interesting thing about this recipe is how it suits so many diets. It's paleo-friendly, it's keto-friendly, it's grain-free, yeast-free, sugar-free, gluten-free. Will it be taste-free? I don't know. And we're just combining 4 ingredients. So let's go ahead and make this. Let me grab what we need first. I did have to make a special trip to the grocery store because it includes this ingredient for cashew butter, which is made out of cashews. So Bethany says this is not appropriate if you have a nut allergy, and if so, you would substitute a sunflower for the cashew butter. I'm gonna prep my loaf pan first. Some of you have asked about how I do this. It's really simple and straightforward. Put my pan on top of the parchment paper and make a little line here to kind of give me an idea of where to kind of fold this. You cut the corners out. So then we've got this kind of shape, and then we just to mention that this is also flourless. There's going to be no flour in this recipe. So it's kind of similar to, have you seen those like 3-ingredient cookies, like almond butter cookies or peanut butter cookies? Very similar. We're going to be using eggs, peanut butter, and that recipe uses a little bit of sweetener, but this one does not. So this is going to be pretty light in terms of the level of sweetness. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, along with 4 whole eggs. And I've let these sit out at room temperature for a little bit because it makes for easier whipping. So next we're going to whisk this until we form some peaks. I'm going to be using my hand mixer. Now this is interesting. These are whole eggs. There are yolks in here, so there's fat. Usually this doesn't peak up if you've got fat in it, but we also have baking soda. So I'm curious to see how this turns out. Okay, here we go. It's going to be a little bit noisy. Wow, this thing is so fast. Okay. Yeah, I see we're there. Now we're going to add 1 cup of cashew butter. And this is my favorite measuring cup for things like honey and peanut butter. It's this adjustable measuring cup. It does get a bit top heavy once you start filling it to the top, but it gets every little scrap out. Here, let me show you. I've never had cashew butter. Let's give this a taste. Imagine it tastes like cashews, which I love. Ooh, it's very creamy. Let's give it a go. I love cashews as a snack. There's this really nice natural sweetness of cashews. And this has no added sugar in it. Oh, quite nice. It is pricey though. This jar of cashew butter was $10. Add it to our eggs. See, look how nicely that is. It just squeegees the whole inside of that measuring cup, every little drop of that. Beautiful. Now I'm just going to fold this in because my machine worked pretty hard to get this beaten up. So I don't want to lose all that volume if possible, or as little of that volume. So this is very thick. Not sure why we had to beat that to stiff peaks when it just sort of deflated everything. And it says to add chocolate chips to taste. So, I like a lot of chocolate, but something about this recipe tells me that they're trying not to encourage eating too much chocolate. I happen to love chocolate, but at any rate, I'm going to add some chocolate in between here. It's probably about 12 chocolate chips. Add the remainder. So swizzle this into our pan here. So I have a total of about half a cup of big semi-sweet chocolate chips. I put some of them in between, but I'm going to put most of them on top. And then we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. That's it. Pretty easy. Alrighty, my beautiful lovelies, I am back. Here is the completely cooled cookie dough bread. It came out exactly at 25 minutes. Looks pretty good, although I do find the fact that my chocolate not melting a little bit, not necessarily worrisome, but unusual, I would say. Alright, let's take it out of the pan. Here's the beautiful thing about using parchment. Isn't that great? Sometimes I wish you could parchment a bundt pan. That would be handy. All right, or jello molds. Yeah, that would be really nice. Okay, here is the bread. And there's a rogue chocolate chip. Tastes like chocolate. My cookie dough bread looks a bit like a hedgehog. Here we go. I'm just gonna slice this and see what it looks like inside. Looks like bread. Will you look at that? Well, I'll be. I'm gonna take a slice right from the middle. It looks like a quick bread, you know, one that's leavened with baking soda or baking powder. Ooh, it smells interesting. I was expecting, you know, the smells of baked goods like vanilla and chocolate. Instead, it smells slightly savory. It seems very moist. Can you hear that? Alrighty, let's give this a taste. Oh, I have to make sure I have a bite with chocolate chips. I think I lost a couple. Alrighty, here we go. Itadakimasu. This does not taste like cookie dough. No, at all. Not even with that little bit of chocolate. No. I'll even go a bit further and say it's not very tasty. The cashew butter, which I tasted before adding it to the recipe, I quite liked. I liked the really creamy peanut butter texture and kind of similar peanut butter flavor and inherent sweetness that was found in the butter itself. But here, it doesn't taste like cashew butter at all. It tastes very strange. The texture of the bread is spongy, it's damp, a lot like a wringed out sponge, and the flavor is just not good. It's not nutty like I expected it to be. It tastes almost rancid or off. It has a bit of a resinous flavor to it, slightly bitter. It tastes a little bit like leather. So I didn't expect these to be sweet. We didn't add any sweetener. The only sweetness comes from the inherent sweetness of the cashews themselves and the little bit of sugar that's in the chocolate chips. So it's very strange that it calls itself cookie dough because it doesn't taste like cookie dough, because cookie dough is very sweet. Besides that, it doesn't even have the flavors of cookie dough. Yes, it has chocolate, but the bread portion of the cookie dough bread Doesn't taste like any kind of cookie dough I've ever had, peanut butter, cashew butter, otherwise. It has a very kind of off-putting flavor to it, which I wasn't expecting. That is also true of the smell of the bread too. It smells off, slightly sour and kind of funky, and I know it's not bad because I just baked this, it's fresh. It's just not very tasty, in fact, very disappointing. The chocolate chips taste good. Well, that was disappointing. Maybe if I have a little bit of extra cashew butter on top, maybe that will inject it with more cashewness. I don't know. I'm willing to try anything at this point because this is such a disappointing recipe. Make it taste like cashews again. Well, I would say the flavor is marginally better. It gives it a little bit more concentrated cashew flavor, but it heightens the dryness, kind of gums everything together in your mouth and just feels like an extra dry loaf of bread. Well, I'm gonna pick out all of these chocolate chips and I'm gonna see if my chickens like this, because I do not.
Alrighty, chickens. Very curious to see what you think of this. Sorry. What say you? Oh! You like it? Oh, good. I'm glad it didn't go to waste.
Alrighty, my lovelies, there you have it. The quarantine cookie dough bread. Let me know down in the comments if you tried this. Did you like it? Did you make any kinds of adjustments? Do you have any recommendations? I am all ears. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! So I'll just pick all that out and just eat it because don't want to poison your pets, right? No, sure. I don't want chocolate. Make sure that they're safe.